Hey folks, this is Zach, your friend and realtor in the Bay Area real estate market. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Today is Monday, June 23rd, 2025. I'm back with another market update. On the screen, we have the updated inventory table as of today, this morning, and also we have the information from 1 week ago as well, June 16th. So the whole point of the video is we're going to be looking at the trends that occurred over the past week. We're going to see what happened to the real estate markets for single family home and also condos and townhouses across the various counties that make up the Bay Area. So if you're new to the channel or if this is your first time watching one of my market updates, let me just quickly kind of fill you in on how to read the table and what you're looking at here. So if you can see my cursor on the screen, here's today's date, June 23rd. We have all the counties that make up the Bay Area here. Moving to the right, 1 and 2 columns, we have SFH active and SFH pending. So SFH stands for single family home. Active, these are going to be the homes that are currently for sale. So if you were to go onto Zillow, if you were to go onto Redfin and you searched for single family homes for sale in Santa Clara County, you would get 1,272 results. Okay. This +5 here, that means there was over the past week, there was an increase in 5 units. So for example, 1 week ago, we had 1,267 single family homes for sale in Santa Clara County. Today, a week later, we have 1,272. So that's an increase of 5. SFH pending. Now this column, these homes are not sold yet. However, the sellers have accepted an offer from a prospective buyer, and these properties are in contract right now. So 9 out of 10 times within 30 days, these homes will be sold. Moving on to this ratio column, this is the active to pending ratio column for single family homes. We'll come back to this in a moment. Moving to the right, another 1 and 2 columns, we have C/TH. This stands for condos and townhouses. Again, active and pending. And then the very last column here, we have the active to pending ratio column for condos and townhouses. So the ratio column, this is going to give us a gauge of how hot or how cold a market is. The lower the ratio, the hotter the market. The higher the ratio, the cooler the market. So the closer that we are to 0, that's a hot market, that's a seller's market. And the higher the number, that is a cool market or a buyer's market. Anything that is like 5 or below is going to be a seller's market. Obviously, the closer you get to 0, that's a red hot seller's market. Anything between 5 and 7 is a pretty balanced market. Anything above 7 is going to be a buyer's market. Obviously, the higher you get, the more of a buyer's market it's going to be. And when I say the more of a buyer's market, what I mean is things to look for is longer days on market. So for example, let's go to, here's a good example, Santa Cruz County condos and townhouses with an active to pending ratio of 13. This is a very much so a buyer's market. So you're going to see very long days on market. You can go ahead and check this right now if you're curious, but look, if you go to Zillow or Redfin, Santa Cruz County condos and townhouses, you'll see there's going to be a lot of results come up that have been on the market for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, over 100 days, okay? That's what you will find in a buyer's market. Another thing that you'll find in a buyer's market is much less competition. So you're going to see there's going to be a lot of properties for sale and not a lot of buyers to match those properties. So if you happen to be a prospective buyer for a condo or townhouse in Santa Cruz County, you have a lot of options and not a lot of competition. And when I say competition, I mean other prospective buyers that you would be potentially competing with when it comes to when you put an offer in, for an example. So on the flip side of that, if we go to the most competitive market in the Bay Area, Santa Clara County single family homes, this has the lowest ratio in the entire table, 2.2. This is a very hot seller's market. So in this market, what you'll see is the opposite. You'll see very low days on market. So, okay, just keep these three things in mind: location, price, and condition. So location, that's kind of a given, Santa Clara County. Specifically, though, Silicon Valley. So a single family home in Sunnyvale or Cupertino, any area that is close to big tech and also has a good school district is going to be very competitive. Okay. So that covers location. Condition. In this situation, even homes that are need updating or need like complete renovations to them, they're still going to be high demand just because of how low the amount of inventory is. But like I said, good location, good condition, the house is move-in ready or just recently updated or renovated. And if it's priced right, we're going to see very, very low days on market before this home goes pending. So Santa Clara County, single family homes, like I said before, especially in Silicon Valley, 1 week on market is to be expected, like 7 to 10 days, sometimes less, sometimes a bit more, but in that ballpark of 7 to 10 days on market is what you can expect in a hot seller's market. There's going to be a lot of competition between buyers, so you can definitely expect multiple offers. It would not be unheard of a single family home in Sunnyvale, Cupertino, West San Jose to go on the market on a Thursday and then by the following Wednesday, so not even a week later, for them to have received 10 offers, right? With a good majority of those offers being over list price. So that's I'm just trying to paint a picture for you guys, the difference between hot and cold markets, or in other terms, sellers and buyers markets. So at the Bay Area as a whole, has lots of different micro markets. We have different pockets. So it's not like the Bay Area as a whole is a seller's market or a buyer's market. It just depends what type of property you're looking for and what area you're looking in. Okay. So that's very important for you to know whether you are a prospective buyer or if you're a property owner that's considering selling. Okay. So that's how to read the table. That's kind of what to look for. The numbers in the ratio column, they have different colors. They don't indicate whether it's a hot or cold market because you can see Santa Cruz County single family homes. This is a buyer's market. It has a red number. This just shows the trend that occurred over the past week. So last week it had a ratio of 9.4. This week it has a ratio of 8.5. So over the past week, it did heat up a little bit. That doesn't mean it's a hot market, but that's what the color coding system indicates, just the trend that occurred over the past week. Excuse me. So here's the data. It pretty much speaks for itself. I guess I should mention if the number's green, that just means that it stayed the same from the week prior. Red means the ratio heat up over the past week, and blue means the ratio cooled off over the past week. Santa Clara County cooled off over a little bit over the past week. San Mateo County, on the other hand, heat up both in single family home and condos and townhouses. Santa Cruz single family homes heat up a little bit. San Francisco County, single family homes cooled off a little bit. Alameda County and Contra Costa County, both single family homes and condos and townhouses cooled off over the past week. So here it is, guys. If you're a returning viewer, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you coming back week after week and watching my videos. Do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And I'll tell you why, because what I do at the end of every month is I do this market update, but rather than just looking at the trends that occurred over a weekly interval or increment, I'm looking at the trends that occurred over the entire month to give us a more high level view of what's going on in the Bay Area real estate market. So I think a week from today, let me check the date. Sorry, I'm going to look at my phone here for a second. That'll be June 30th. Yeah. So a week from now, the next video that I do is going to be looking at June as a whole. And we're going to see, did the Bay Area real estate market, did it heat up over the month of June? Did it cool off during the month of June, or did it stay the same for the most part? If you have a prediction on what it did, feel free to leave it in the comments below. If you want to make sure you don't miss that video, please subscribe to the channel. Guys, if you thought the information that I shared with you today was useful, helpful, insightful in any way, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Anyways, I think that's going to conclude the video today. Please share this video with anybody you know that's looking to buy or sell real estate in the Bay Area. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. Have a nice week, and we'll see you with the next one. Thanks. Take care.